Mm-hmm. Oh, we don't hear it. Okay, so let's tune in. Let's bring the palm together. Inhale to begin. Namo Gurudev. Namo Gurudev. Adgure Name, Shigadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Shigadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Shigadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. So, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to see you all keeping up and going through this amazing time. So, after the fall and experiencing the unexpected space, it seems like that space now is prevalent. So what I mean by this is that the solar activities and the increase of, I would say, energy from plasmic sources from the sun in the ether, in the galaxy, is really coming to us for intensified period. And I think in the next 4 years, we're going to really feel it very strongly. So, and this month is, I mean, I see it as losing ground. The space become prevalent. That means the ether element, the akashic element. So that means we need to give up the grip on the old reality of everything that has conditioned us to see the world through the ego eyes. Yeah, it's a paradox, but we take it for granted. And even though you do yoga for many years, you have not a clue of what it is to see the world through other eyes, the eyes of truth. So we are all conditioned, we are all on automatic, we are all on programs, and we are all on multiple projected identity. And this is all hallucination. The process starts through the education, the parents who, in the old civilization, I call it old, but this is the actual civilization we are in. Parents are projecting on the children how they should see the world, mostly. And it's very subliminal, very, very subliminal. So there are two options, whether you take it and you suck it as a sponge from father and from mother, first step. And then you have the education system, the society, the environment, the culture that expect you to see the world in a certain way. And therefore, after 11 years old, you are surrounded with a definition of world that has nothing to do with you. So this is a projected identity and a projected identification of a true reality, which is completely false, hallucinatory. And then the interaction between people, we are putting pressure on each other to hoping the other will confirm that what I see and how I see the world is the truth. So therefore, we create clique and clan just to appreciate a sort of a collective hallucination where we all approve each other. So this is total delirium. The second thing is through education, since now hundreds of years, we have entered this time of science who cuts itself from the reality, and science joining technology is basically rooted in, I would say, a sense of effectiveness. I would say the slogan, the slang is, if I can do it, why not? We should do it, yeah? So we have lost completely our connection with the, I would say, the population who for thousands of years have been totally living in harmony with the environment. There are few remaining in the jungle somewhere, hidden. But we've lost our connection to the real world, and we are living in the fake world. And then, you know, just to remember the American Indian, for example, as we call them, they were fishing a river full of fishes, but they just fished what they needed for the day, yeah? So all this attitude of being grateful for what is and just take what we need and enter a cycle of immersion in the nature, co-creating with the nature, and not considering the world as hostile, but rather as welcoming us to contribute, to participate. Now we are in society of exploitation that we think the life is more safe and easier if we go for razzia, yeah? As much as possibility for producing electricity, we block the rivers, we create lake, and then the need, the level of our comfort, we are just increasing to end up living in boxes on, you know, skyscraper with super comfort, 200 square meter with air condition that you can hardly breathe. I mean, I don't want to enter the details of our madness and collective madness, but we are exploiting. This is a neo-colonization civilization where we suck the resources of the planet for the benefit of a minimum. So this is the ego projection of life. Let's go for maximum comfort, maximum exploitation, producing more as we don't even need it. And let's sell it, you know, let's make profit. This is the whole collective madness, yeah? So today we're reaching a point where we finally, some of us, realize that we're gonna end up in two ways, whether from the heat, the global warming is not a joke, it's happening in many areas. And so we end up grilled, or the other one is the cold death. The cold death is like being completely incapable to face the time. More and more people are dysfunctional, are not able to find a place in the world, and are dysfunctional means, you know, under drugs, under obsession, under so many psychology, trauma are absolutely dysfunctional. So maxi ego perception and mini efficiency toward the harmony. So we know we are now so crazy that we are destroying ourselves, not just the planet, ourselves as a human being. This humanity is on its way to self-destruction. This is an evidence. Of course, if you start speaking this way, people start to say you're complotist, you're I don't know what. So I'm not talking about to make you scared or afraid of anything. I just want you to be alert that, you know, the first principle of this whole creation is all is mind. All is mind. And what we are facing is the result of a collective subconscious mind who compete with the universal mind. Now, in yoga, we consider that Chitta is this universal mind that's actually take care of every detail of the creation, which is absolutely true. But the thing is, on this planet, the human collective mind has an extreme impact in the time. That's what we have to realize, that we don't have the collective power to destroy the planet, even though it looked like we could. But we have definitely the capacity to suicide, collectively suicide, lacking a connection to the fundamental wisdom and the capacity to listen to this universal mind. So we are now, this impact of the ether is so strong that it comes to destabilize any strong belief system based on logic. And even the science now are splitted. It's unbelievable, but we have seen it already 3 years ago at the time of COVID, where science or scientific people with consciousness were having a very sane logic, and they could see what's happening. And then corrupt scientists are trying to prove that the duality is real for the interest of a minority. And we are continuing in these things, that everything is splitted, and that was the prevision about Kali Yuga. Confusion comes from a split of opinion that you can prove with the best logic. So black and white can be demonstrated today with as clever logic and create absolute confusion in all spirits, as long as your reference is coming from the mind that is outside you and not the integrated mind. The integrated mind comes from the right brain. We have been trained in this society to use the left brain, be logic, be consequent, you know, thèse, hypothesis, proving and synthesis, and constantly questioning what we just find, and to develop application. We are all in utilities, application, and make money from that. So now the right brain is time to awaken that other part that we have dropped because we don't need it today. Your life is predictable. Everything is predictable. What was not predictable is where we are going to the wall, yeah? So we need to rehabilitate this right brain and this cognitive capacity to understand from a complete different perspective, because that brain can only be activated if you connect it with the true self, yeah? Not projected self, not for short-term realization or manifestation, but it's for a long-term perspective, answering the question, what do I choose to create? What do I really want? Nobody asks himself this question. On the top elite people, the government, all over the world, it's only short-term answer. We need to be safe. We need to make more. We need to expand. We need to increase. Nobody ever asks himself, do I really want that life? Do you want to live with a smartphone the whole day, be connected? Do you want to spend your time in front of a screen connecting people and not living where you are, having no respect to any trees and any rivers and any birds? You understand what I'm saying? We are not asking ourselves the question, do I want the world I'm living in? Do I want that? Do I want that quality of life we are going to? Yeah. So if you start asking this question, you can question completely what we want to do from what we should do, what we have to do. So our actions are based on total, twisted, collective hallucination of a definition of who we are as human beings. We are still standing on this neo-colonialism that we can take everything, produce more, and just feel more. That's what they call progress. Yeah, progress is more comfort, more. Until when? Now we are facing the time when we see we are too many people with too much comfort, exploiting too many things and polluting to a level that we're just gonna asphyxiate ourselves. We're just gonna destroy ourselves and the whole planet for a time. Yeah. So I think if we follow this kind of impulsion from the outside and information for the world around us, we just end up in absolute confusion. Then what? Left, right, what can we do? And it's not about what to do. You know, if you want to have a durable project about a sort of life you don't want, what's the point to make it durable? So this ecology thesis about making lasting and recycling, about a lifestyle that is absolutely corrupt. Yeah. So I think we should go back to the root cause of consciousness is, can we go back to a conscious living on this planet as everything is offered, everything is here to be shared? Can we go back to this time of awareness of who we really are as human beings? Because that's the first question is, who do we serve? For who do we create this world? For what kind of future? What kind of future human being we want to support on this planet? Is it for conscious living human being? Among the four othering, we are 5 kingdoms here: the minerals, the vegetables, the animals, the human, and the devas. How can we take part of the concept of these 5 kingdoms as a part of it, not as the superior race who's going to rule the world and destroy ourselves? We've got to go into much more humility and realize that we don't have this power to conquer the world. We don't have this power to exploit everything and go up to the roof. We've got to be here to share and to co-create with the creation, following the laws of creation. So this is what Nanak means by listening. We are not listening. We are full of ideas that wants to completely conquer the world. This is still in our DNA. And so what we are losing ground today is all this way of thinking is becoming obsolete. That's where we look right and left. We try to justify our life, and more we look the way we live, the principle on which we stand for our life, that we realize we're all corrupt. We have no respect, we are not listening, and we are not co-creating together. We are just, raping the nature and the other realm, the minerals, the vegetables. I mean, see how many species disappear, the animals disappear. I mean, it's a whole catastrophe. And we don't need to live knowing any animal, actually. Why we would need that, yeah? Do you understand what I'm sharing? So the space is opening so big today that all the reference we used to have, even in our attachment and conquistador spirit, is falling apart. So this month is we are entering a period of dissolution of the old belief system but very deep in everyone. We are losing ground. We are just phasey and spacey. Spacey, you know what it is to be spacey? It's like you just can't put together two thoughts, yeah, because one say this, the other one say that, and then what? Where are we going? Spacing out means I have no reference, I cannot grab on anything, I'm just floating in the space. So this is a necessity, lose ground on the old way of seeing reality, so we may have a chance to grasp another level. That's why I say the leitmotif for this time is be lighter, but not spacey. Be lighter, not spacing out. So that means higher spirit. What is fundamental, you know, this law of manifestation is what we create is based on what we focus. I keep on saying this already the last 6 months, but it's the pressure is more and more here, and it's more and more real for each one of us. If you elevate your frequency, you definitely not contribute to a reality that is falling apart, but rather a reality that is in becoming. The new human probably will not follow the old one in a linear way. This is all the visionary and masters you can take, Aurobindo, Osho, or whoever you imagine, they all saw this very clearly. This humanity with the ego eye has to stop. And we need to raise to this third eye perception, which is the absolute intuition, to be able to let the future come to us in a very creative way. So this is where you find a new ground into your third eye, into your intuitive perception. And this is more and more accessible because we need it more and more. You know, if you want to survive your days today, you need a very, very strong spirit. So that's why I also invite you, you know, we were teaching about sadhanas for years ago. I mean, 50 years we are teaching this. It was kind of easy going, taking it sometimes 2 times a week, la, la, la. I think today is like brushing your teeth. Spiritual discipline is a discipline your mind. This is the object of yoga, and this is what it is so precious today. It's not just going to a club or practice little stretching. You need to tame the muscle of your mind. This mind has to respond. It has to sustain your perception of truth. And this is the only access we have, is the same mind. But if you process through logic, you're going to end up in a box accepting the conditionment. If you go to unlimited time and space of mind, then we access another level of perception. And that's the perception of truth, because truth is not bound to time. What is true on this planet and this solar system and galaxy was true billions years ago, and it will be true in billions years to come. So that's the permanence. How can we catch that? You know, you can't be entangled in all this hundred of projection of who I am, who I like to be, where I should be, and all the social status and title, and has to go. And I think this is the death. It's not the death of human being necessarily, even though they are at the moment increasing every day, but it is the death of the attachment to the ego definition of being human. Yeah. So this is quite drastic, dramatic. Giving up the ego identity is bring you in this space of nothingness, nothing to hook on, nothing to project, nothing to think, no politics, no intrigues, no games, no yes, but nothing, absolutely nothing. And that's what we call shunya. The practice of meditation, the practice of self-discipline will bring you in contact with a true self essence, which is the essence of the whole life. Is no separation between mineral, vegetal, animal, spirit. we are one. Everything comes from the one, and we are not separate. But to realize that consciousness, it's an effort to take yourself out of duality and bring you back in oneness, which is what we call zero mind. So meditation is a must, and spiritual discipline is how we can observe ourselves. There must be a place of peace, quietness within ourselves, where we can sit there and watch and contemplate all the voices that comes out. Yeah? And you can identify from this peaceful place what is true from what is not, what is really you in essence, and what is the projected self. So, and can decide, because that is our choice, this is our responsibility. We are entering an era of spiritual responsibility. Do you understand? It is not moving masses, moving people, or convincing anybody for any philosophy. Is to really connect to yourself, to see what is the real you from what is not. And this is quite a tough work, because we are a mingle, we are attracting people who try to prove you wrong. Right. We attract friends, we attract people who just want to support you in your twisted identity. So that's why we do yoga, and the Sangat is a complete different sense of relationship, that we are here to mirror each other and to be very, very straight, that you're not playing the game of the person you are in relation to, but you are sending a mirror of who this person is in real and what kind of game this person is playing. And you might lose friends, yeah? Because people usually, they don't like to be seen, I would say, twisted, yeah? So this is a whole transformation that is accelerating. The energy and the support is coming really strongly now. And we are kind of floating like a straw ball on the ocean, losing the port, the reference, where we come from, and have no sense of where this is all going to go. So I think if we find ourselves like this, lost in the space, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. I think it can be very depressive, from the, all the attachment to the past definition and what used to make you feel good and all that. He's going. It is going. So, but there's no reason to be sad about that if you understand the process of letting go the hook on the old definition of what we thought life is about, humanity is about, this planet is about. If you drop all of that and you start to activate the right brain, you're going to start to use it to activate the frontal lobe, where your creativity can start to be effective in investing your energy in something you would never even think of before. Yeah. So this is not creative to find solution against the limitation of the life we are living now and the complexity of it. It is to initiate completely something based on long-term, timeless consciousness. Yeah, relax about tomorrow. Tomorrow will be how you are today as a being. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you're already dead. What's the point to die tomorrow? Yeah. You understand? If you're dead to the ego identity and trying to prove anything or to prove to yourself, if you give this up, you're already dead to all that. So you can enjoy a new life with a new frequency. And for that, you need to elevate your frequency. This is fundamental. I said it already last month, months before. Elevate your frequency. It's about sensing the self-sensory, sensing the truth. And that will guide you. Yeah? You rehabilitate the intuition, and this will guide us. So how not to feel bad where we are saying no to what the environment and the world tell us to be. You understand? There is this guilt things. I have this feeling that I'm betraying something. I'm not aligned. I'm not in the flow with what a big part of population is still hoping me to behave, is still hoping me to think. You understand? We are, the psychomorphic field is our collective connection to one collective psychic. All the people who hold on the old world are still impacting you. And if you start changing, you have this feeling like it tells me I shouldn't be like this, I'm betraying, I'm a conspiracy person, I don't know. I have a guilt even to have a sane resentment, something very, very down to earth, very clear, and then I get guilty. So why do I think like this? What's the point? Can I think like this? Yeah, it is all happening to create more confusion. So clarity comes only if you can sense it from within. Sense from, that's what we call self-sensory system. Yeah, you're not charmed by anything coming from outside, not even a nice philosophical idea, but it is from within, from the true essence of yourself. You start to make sense to yourself, because there is only self-approval to do that can guide you. If you do not approve yourself, who's going to do it? Yeah, you cannot claim and gain any approval from outside. Nobody will be for you or against you. It doesn't matter. Can you be you and stable and consistent and timeless? That's your true identities. I'm not referral of who I can be in 2 days or in 3 weeks or in 6 months or in 2 years. Say, now, can I be myself? Can I honor myself? Can I be consistent by honoring that? Because this is divine. You know, the divine self is nothing else than a timeless, spaceless being. And that's who we are. We forgot. So we need to catch back this memory. And we have this practice in Kundalini Yoga, and all yogas, actually, is part of Ashtanga Yoga, is Pratyahara. Pratyahara is that the right of consciousness that is aligned is to decide what to think. If all is minded, then we don't have to approve a thought that is not in alignment with this timeless consciousness. So when you sit in meditation, you're going to see appearing in your mind all this confusion, this blah, blah, blah of I should do this, I should do this, I should go there, I should make this money, and la, la, la. And just drop this whole thing, let it go, let it disappear. Yeah. And this is what we call selective. You have the right to decide what you have the right to think, and what you don't want to think, you just let it go, let it dissolve. So the space of dissolution that we are entering now is in favor for you to dissolve what you don't want. Instead of dissolving yourself and losing hope and get depressed, you can use that space to dissolve what you choose not to validate. And that's an effort, and that's why we need to meditate every day and just drop it. But drop it from the whole system, your emotion about it, the attachment about it, the images you had about ideal life and how I'm going to be my tomorrow. Let it all go. Yeah. And just remain in this amazing peace that comes when you're able to abandon the attachment, the attachment to images that make you suffer, the expectation from the old world. It's all has to go, and it has to go through you, because it's not going to happen in the world if it doesn't happen through you. So Pratyahara, discrimination. What is hallucination? Where do I contribute to hallucinate also my environment, the people around me when I play game with them? And what is real? That is a fundamental crisis we are in. Can we see what is real and discriminate from what is complete hallucination. So actually, we are invited to raise the level of consciousness on the whole humanity, and it's going to happen through yourself. True self, true identity remain when you have no hope to project yourself on anything that is not really you. Yeah. So all these games, all these facets, this mask you're playing and the intrigues, and drop it. Just drop it. This is who you are not, and you should be able to see both. When you sit with yourself, you can see who you are not, and therefore you see who you are. It's a time to be wild. Wild means spontaneous, yeah? Find back your original self, like natural self, like what was there when we were lost in the wood, yeah? Just imagine yourself lost in the wood with no compass, not knowing where you land. Who are you there, yeah? Who are you? So there is a moment where the spontaneity, the capacity to orient yourself, the creativity, the intuition, and that through intuition, nourish your imagination, not the opposite. Not the opposite. We talked about that the other month, where imagination can betray us. But now, if you first be intuitive, then you use imagination to create a shape, create a form of what you see. So it's a time to dream big. Yes, it's a paradox. And dream big, not from the ego eyes. That's what we have been doing the last 1,000 years. It is time to dream big about you, not limited. You know, when I say dream big, dream from the timeless being you are. That's what I mean. And it can be a very simple dream, actually, because to bring this timeless on the earth, it will be through very simple, pragmatic action. Very, very simple action. How do I have reverence and respect to the cycle, to the nature, to the other being, all the other being? How can I express my love to all the animals, to all the vegetables, to all the rivers, the clouds, everything that creates our environment is here to support us. We are here to have gratitude and a conscious exchange with all these elements from our love. So that's where we need to reactivate the trust and the love. When we use this spontaneity, this wildness, the human wild, simple, it brings in you the medicine to overcome this overwhelming space where we lose grip on the reality. So we need to create this medicine to nourish our capacity to create. Don't let yourself drown your frequency. This is absolutely fundamental, that you can't just afford to doubt, to put yourself in question and limit yourself. Every frequency you send like this contribute to the chaos. And each of us is extremely important. Each one of us frequency is extremely important. So we need to pay attention to that and take full ownership and responsibility. When we anchor ourselves through the discipline, spiritual practice, daily routine of practice and realignment, you will start to see that there is so much inspiration coming to you. There is so much opening of love coming to you. And this doesn't need any projection. You don't need to love anybody. It's just to be in love. Yeah, be the love by yourself. So then you start vibrating this. Yeah, then you become coherent. You become established. you become centered and stabilized. So it is fundamental to stabilize the higher frequency you can manifest, you can generate. And it takes an effort. This we all know. It's easy to fall flat on our bum and be desperate and close our eyes and pretend we meditate and just be in space out. And it takes an effort if you sit down and close your eyes to be fully awakened and not falling asleep, and then be in this place of an observer and start to channelize this incredible energy that is coming to us today on this planet. So when you abandon this worried about yourself, worried about tomorrow, worried about the environment, and etc., you start to realize, okay, I can also care for others. And that's a very good idea. So I said it before, but I think it's, if you practice sadhana, invite 1 or 2 people to join you. You know, this is just as soon as you start having community living and singing, dancing, celebrate life together, it's fundamental. This will bring back the frequency of being human as one again. I guess we are offering this 12th night at the end of the year for going from this transition from finishing this year and starting this incredible 24 coming for us. So this is a time where we want to meditate, definitely, that we want to share the same breath, the same song, and the same dance together. And I suggest that you would do it for yourself. You can join us online as well. We have a sadhana in the morning, a class in the afternoon, a process. So you can join wherever you are if you cannot come over here. But it's a time to really gather, share song, share meditation, and choose for intentional simplicity. This was a slang in the 60s. We were already doing this, and we lost it. You know, everybody went back into making money and going for comfort, and etc. But maintain yourself in simple condition. Accept simplicity and bring your expenses to a minimum. Will give you an incredible sense of autonomy, a sense of sovereignty, when you realize you don't need so much, and we can live in simplicity with an incredible sense of abundance, joy, and gratitude. Then you can start to see that things can move, and you can also move yourself from the environment. If you are in an environment that is not simple, that is over exceeding spending and everything, maybe it's a time to reconsider and give yourself a sort of a plan to create an environment that is more respectful, that is a better scale, and where you can still expand and enjoy your spirit in a much more simple way. Right? So I think it's a turning point where we can make a new choice this month, and with the ending, with the winter solstice, it's an incredible time where we can reset. So it's a time of dropping attachment to whatever have been conditioning us, and give a space of freedom, of open space where you can choose again freely and decide for creating a future. But open yourself to this crazy vision. What would be the world that you would like to choose to be in 3 generations from now? You know, I used to be a forester, and I was harvesting the tree that Richelieu have planted. You know, he planted it to make boat to go to America. And this is like 300 years later, we are harvesting this tree. So we don't have this perspective of a long-term management. Yeah. What would be your life in 100 years from now on this planet? And what would you choose to invest your energy, your psychic, your spirit into creating a world you choose today? Yeah. What do you want? This is fundamental, because we can do anything today, anything. Science, technology, you just think something, you can find a solution, and we're going to make it and produce it. So that's not the problem. The problem is why we do all that. Do we need artificial intelligence? Is absolute nonsense, but they're going to sell it, you know? So we have to really make a stop and think of what do we really want? Do we really need all that? And what do I want for my future? And invest ourselves in a very fundamental choice. And this month, I guess, will be a space where you can feel inspiration. If you meditate, if you expand your perspective, if you elevate your frequency, you can really be, we call it adumbrement, like the highest frequency can come and just seed in you, spirit, a sparkle of light where you can see what you want to serve. What you want to serve for the future of your life and the future of the life on this planet. I think it is that big, yeah? So don't underestimate the time. The way we are thinking today is the way we create the world of tomorrow. So it's absolutely fundamental to realize we are spiritually responsible of our reality. And it's not millions of people who have to align on that. Maybe a handful of people who are 100% clear, coherent, centered, and truth can move the whole thing. Yeah? Do you understand? Just by being, by influencing the whole world by being, not by doing or trying to change things around. This is not going to work. So I think this is the essential of this message for ending the year. Let's do the practice. So the first practice is Pratyahara. I think it's very simple. You have probably practiced it already before. This is using the breath to become aware of feelings and sensation in your body about image thought. It can be from only pure thoughts you don't want to have. You know, you have this thought that keep coming back and bother you with a program, say, I don't want this, I cannot do this, I don't like this, blah, blah, blah. So anything that is a reactive identity, for sure is based on your ego. What you like, what you don't like, who cares? You understand? But for you, it takes a very big priority. I don't like this, I like this. So now it's time to get rid of all of them. The one who drive you nuts because you want this so much, and the one who drive you nuts because you want to avoid this so much. Yeah. So, and it's connected with thoughts and feeling or emotion. Yeah. So we put our hands very simple, like a double cup on this side. You bring your elbows on your rib cage here, and so it's hold very comfortable, a nice angle, and then you bring your chin in, close your eyes, and then you inhale deeply and focus on one obsession, one dependency, one addiction of thoughts that are constantly coming back in your life. And then you decide, no, I don't need this. And on the exhale, you blow the air in your palm. And while you are blowing the air out, you dissolve the sensation in the body. This is fundamental, that it's not just in the mind, it has to be in the physical body. And it's the feeling about what you think that has to leave your body, yeah, because it's hooked in the memory cell, and that's what you want to dissolve. So it's not just thinking and pretending your thought goes, is the impact of these thoughts in your physical body that now you identify where you feel it and you dissolve the feeling. I hope you got it. Yes? So let's do that. We close our eyes and we invoke this wind of change. The wind is through the ether is blowing to dissolve any attachment. So inhale deeply, close your eyes, and identify any obsession and go. You have to breathe out all the way, completely out, and then forget what you were thinking, pick up a new thought you don't want to keep, and you want to cut the attachment and you let go. Inhale deeply. Just feel this expansion when you empty yourself, when everything goes, how much possibilities are coming to you. It's more empty, more space, more possibilities. And exhale. Just approve yourself for all your choices. And know that from anything you get rid of is a new possibility coming to you. So what we couldn't see before will slowly come to you. So the next posture is having the arms up, and we're gonna inhale fully, like to create a big balloon in the chest, and we keep this air. So we bring the air all the way up to the collarbone, like if you want to float it in the water when you feel you're drowning, that you are exhausted, this is the end, you have spent a month in the ocean alone, and now it's time to drown. So you inhale, you make a big balloon, and you try to keep your head above the water. So we're going to make a very, very small breath through exhaling nose, very small, and inhaling mouth like a little, yeah. So it's, you know, we had this old practice where we were swallowing the breath. This time we just don't swallow, we just inhale and exhale. But you do this with the full capacity, and you don't exhale, you never exhale. So we inhale through the mouth. And in this posture, you understand the breath is a full capacity, and you just breathe a tiny bit on the top of that full capacity, full lungs capacity. You just do a tiny breath on the top. You understand? And stretch the arms as you can up, so it will open the rib cage, open the lungs capacity, and you're here floating. Just imagine you're floating, almost drowning. So you keep yourself very big balloon, and then you keep this balloon to float, and you just go like a very small breath, a very small breath. Here we go. Very small breath, very short, very, very small. And keep the air in your lungs. We become lighter and lighter. We are floating. We are taking off like a balloon, higher and higher. And all you are not, all the identity of you're not, just let them go. Let them go. Zero. Keep the lungs full. Inhale deep. Hold it, hold it. Feel yourself flying over the water. Inhale more. Expand it, your breath in the lungs. Stretch higher. You can float, you can go through it. You're not going to drown. It's all possible. Higher, just higher. And exhale. And the last breath is, we are focusing on holding the breath full. So again, this time you will exhale by the nose, inhale by the nose, not by the mouth. And hold the breath in comfortably for the length of one Mool Mantra completely. And then in between the Mool Mantra, you exhale, inhale, and keep the breath in and focus on the third eye. So the position is, we have the right hand over the left, the left over the right, sorry, the left over the right one, and a little bit like 15 degrees above the horizon. So it's just a little bit like in front of your third eye, yeah? And you focus on the third eye. You inhale through the nose very deeply. As you do Kumbhaka, have your habit to hold the breath in. So normally we inhale fully and exhale tiny bit and then hold, yeah? And you hold it peacefully, hang yourself, suspend yourself with no breath until the ending of the mantra. Then you exhale fully, inhale, and again hold. So very simple. This you will. So the idea of this time is Mool Mantra is reset, restart, re-envision the future. So activate your intuition and go beyond duality, go beyond taking side, reactive, and just focus on what the universe tells you about how you can empower your vision, expand your vision as a true human. So deep inhale, hold, and then quick exhale, inhale, and with the left palm over the right, and we hold this about 15 degrees. Yeah, the fingers are about the same level as your third eye, like this. So to start with, you just breathe long and deep until the Mool Mantra starts, and then you hold the breath and go through. Exhale, inhale.
Sarvam Guru Parasad Ja सच नानक होसी भी
Exhale. Inhale.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त आजुनी सर्वं गुरु प्रसाद जाप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच सच नानक होसी भी सच.
Inhale deep. And exhale. Just take a little time to gather all your creative energy and potential to create a new life for yourself and a new world for our collective. And we send this frequency of unconditional love and absolute peace Remember, you're born to be wild, to be free, and to live in peace with all the kingdom. Gonna bring the palm together. So next Sunday, we have this Kundalini update. For some of you, you're used to it. It's like at 1 p.m. until 5, we do 3 Kundalini Kriya to prepare us to go in the new year. And the end of the month, those who want to join will be online for the 26th December until 6th January. Love you all, bless you all, and next time will be next year for another message. Inhale deep. Nam. 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 And if you are awakened tomorrow, we do the sadhana, Ayana sadhana online. So, love you all. Thank you. So nice to see you, Freddy, everybody. I'm a part, the 4 corners of the whole planet. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for translation so we can understand each other. Bye-bye. Good ending. See you next year. Actually, on this line. Claire, Satnam. Anna. Yeah. Bye-bye. Satnam.